morning. At least good morning now here, wherever you are. This is part two of a conversation. I'm going to talk about yourself, which is why this may not get very well received. We'll see. My name is Barry Selby, and we'll just flip the screen. Okay, there we go. A bit shadowy. Let's turn this way a bit, so hopefully get a bit of a better position. All right, let's try that. Okay, better. Hi, thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming in. I'm waiting for some folks joining me again from yesterday because this is a second part of an unplanned two-part, maybe five-part series about choice and how I want to contain this. So I'm just going to preamble a little bit for those who are just joining for the first time. And if you are watching the replay, I do invite you to go watch the first one, which is still up and running on periscope.tv/barryselby. And I'm going to get to a few things along the way. Yesterday's theme was, which is actually the title for this one because it's the same topic, but I want to go deeper, was feeling good or feeling bad. It was your choice. And I kind of uncovered a few things in the conversation. It wasn't something I was going, okay, I'm going to teach this and give you the nuts and bolts of this. What I was doing was basically exploring it with you online. And today I knew I had to go deeper, but I didn't know what I was going to start with. So I'm starting with a recap and then trusting it's going to come through. This is part of the point about choice. We can choose everything, and I'll get to that in a moment in more detail. Before I do, and I'm presuming a lot of people have been watching the replay because I did. This is not my normal time. I normally do my scopes later in the day, but there isn't going to be time for that. So I thought, let's explore and do one early in the morning, Pacific time, that is. I know it's afternoon in Europe right now, and the replay viewers watching any time, day or night. So I understand that. So let me start with a bit of a quick introduction for myself. Whoops, let's do that bit more. Okay. My name is Barry Selby. Figure that out from my Periscope handle in the bio. And I am known as the Love Doctor, and I am a passionate coach, teacher, expert, speaker, guide, encourager, champion for healthy relationships. And my particular focus is working with women who are single, who've gone through a lot of stuff in their lives, want to heal that and transform the experience so they attract what they really want. And because this is what just came up yesterday and it's starting to become something that I'm going to be including, because I've got a background in coaching and speaking and been a counselor for many years, a piece of the puzzle that dropped in over the weekend, in particular how I noticed certain people were acting, how I was acting toward them in response, was the thing about choice. Because I watch people get really upset about things. Really upset about things. In fact, one instance I'll speak about that will maybe not lead me down the new path for this topic today. This was on Monday night. I was at an event, and a woman who had never been to that location before, or to that center before, which is my favorite place, by the way, spiritual center. There were special guests there, so a lot of people came who were first time, has never been there before. Hi, thanks for joining in. Thanks for coming in. By the way, let me just do a quick housekeeping thing. If you're here for the first time, thank you, Ms. Chavez. Exactly. Tap the screen for hearts. I appreciate that. I do have a goal to raise the numbers up. I'm about 382,000 right now. So I'm hoping to get to 390 today, maybe even to 400,000 by tomorrow. We'll see. It's Thanksgiving. I can give thanks for things. Housekeeping. Make sure we're going. What up, Grandpa? Thank you so much. British. You live in Los Angeles, so not Australian. At least you ask for that, which one it is. So thank you. And Grandpa. Well, you know what? If you're only about 12, I could be Grandpa. So, that's a whole other conversation. Thank you for that one. Got me thinking. Just thinking timelines. Yes, that's possible. Okay. Let me get back on the topic. Housekeeping. If you're here for the first time, and I appreciate if you are here for the first time, welcome to my insanity. I do a lot of periscopes. This is my 201st periscope today. I'm not going to start counting every one after this, but 200 yesterday was a milestone. If you're here for the first time, please make sure you do tap on the little guy in the corner, and that'll bring up the little profile thing, and you can tap on my name and then you tap on follow me. Lots of tapping. Also, please share this on Twitter and invite your followers in Periscope, and I'll do that reminding them as we go through the scope when people join in here. You can unfollow. If you already follow me, you don't need to unfollow. No, but if you don't want to follow me, feel free to do that too. Your choice. Because I'm offering that out. This is what I just tell generally people who come for the first time. So, yeah. Sort of checking out some data points like, okay, who's who? All right. Yes, Henry. And if you want, if what I'm saying lands for you, or you get value from it, or you just feel like doing it anyway, just tap the screen for hearts, which I appreciate as well. and continue tapping up to 500 accounts. Above 500 is superfluous, but that's okay if you want to do that. Yeah, so far working on 1,000. Well, that sounds impressive, but I've been doing this for 3-4 months. I was on watching, not in, but watching a share-a-thon yesterday from the group I'm part of, and all 8 people in that scope, in that share-a-thon, had over 2,000 followers. So I'm looking at 800 going, it's great, but... And that brings it back to the whole point about today's topic, choice. What I want to speak to, and if you didn't watch yesterday's scope, I'm going to dip into a little bit, but you may want to go back to that one for the first chapter of this topic, because it's going to go for a while, I think, because there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that are landing, and I don't speak whatever that is, sorry, English, so if you're writing something else, I have no idea what it is you're saying. So, Finnish, okay, no, I'm sorry, no idea, thank you for telling me what it was, but I don't speak Finnish, or read it either, for that matter. So, choice. This woman at the event some Monday night, I remember that was good, stay on track. She had never been to the location before, never to the event before, but she was there because this person speaking was, oh, hello to you too. She had come to the event because the speaker was from Sheila following. Anyway, something happened where they were doing a book signing afterwards. This woman was in line, and apparently she got bumped by somebody because she wouldn't get into the line. She was standing in the way trying to get her book signed, and she was basically not following direction. That's what she said, not what I saw, what she actually said. And I saw her in the hallway. She was upset. I was like, what's wrong? I said, I need to fill out a complaint form. It's like, uh-oh, what's going on? So I was trying to take the right person to do that, because it's not my area, but I thought I'd take to somebody you might know. The person said, we don't do complaint forms, so I'll give you the card you can email to. She said, great, that's what I want to do. But the seconds ticked by, literally, it was only 5-10 seconds at a time, and her anxiety was increasing. By the end of it, she was almost spitting upset, tears in her face. I never want to come back here again. I spit on this place, and she was stormed out. Now, that was totally unexpected. Totally unexpected. And for me, I watched that, and to be honest, I felt kind of sad about it, because first of all, I know that environment. And if one person did something out of alignment, if in case it happened, I don't know if it did or not, but if one person did something out of alignment, where they elbowed somebody, moved somebody, or told somebody off, and that person reacted like that, they missed out on the opportunity to experience so much more joy, light, and love, which I am passionate about in that environment. So the piece of this conversation we'll get to is how we let our choices, or should I say, how we let our reaction, our mood, and our self-feelings be controlled by somebody else's action. We become a victim of somebody else's words, actions, inaction, attitudes, comments, anything like that. And when that happens, we lost ourselves. And this is where I want to get to, just to put this in teaching in a nutshell. Because I spoke to this yesterday briefly in there. Hi from Turkey, thank you for being here. Why did the duck cross the road? Because the chicken was already crossed? I don't know. I'm not sure. You're going to start playing jokes this morning? Prove it wasn't a chicken. Very funny. All right. So you're the joke master, huh? So here's the thing. Yesterday I talked about the fact that when you don't make your own choices, this scope actually isn't, you can tell yourself a joke. You just told one, which is great. This scope is about choice. And I'm not choosing to tell jokes right now. I'm choosing to teach something that hopefully you can take into your life and change how your life goes. Option, you can do it if you want. If you don't want to follow, that's fine with me. It's my scope, damn it. But the thing about choice can create us, or can actually disable us and make us victims to things. Because we don't take choice of our own reactions, responses to things that happen out there, whether it be someone else or something else like the government or taxes or the traffic, whatever that is, or the weather, then that controls us. And if we aren't willing to say, hang on a second, I'm making that more important than my feelings, which is what's happening, then we become a victim. Yes, a victim. Because if that changes, we react without control. We don't take charge. We don't have volition in that sense because we defaulted to autopilot. I knew it was going to. Yeah, sorry. This conversation wasn't planned as a script, and yes, it is opened up some new things. And this is taking another level. And I just had a whole insight to a piece that I want to talk about today. It's too big. Is that Miss Katya? Perry 10K? Thank you for being here. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's interesting. I'm getting Turkish and Finnish education on the scope today, which is wonderful. An interesting group. It's Perry 10K. Yes, it's the duck. So, yeah, there's a piece that just showed up that I'm want to see if I'm going to put it on the table or not, because it's got some it can trigger people. So I'm going to see about that one. I'm going to keep it on the side for now. So just to rewind it just a second for those just coming in, and thanks for joining me, and thanks if you are coming first time, make sure you tap the little guy in the corner, make sure you're following me, and also please share this on Twitter and on Periscope as well. To your followers on Periscope, and tap the screen for hearts. I'm holding this to remember this piece, because I know what it's about, and I'm not sure I want to enter into it now, because this is a 5-chapter scope at least, because it's so politically unsavory. Wasn't planned, so let me just come back a bit first and come back to that. Okay, so put that down. So, to rewind just a second, we are capable of making choices. Hello. And not necessarily about certain circumstances, but we have a choice to change our attitude and our responsiveness to things around us, which can give us enable us to take our power back. Because when we let other things control us, again, like I said, the traffic, the weather, the government, the authorities, our spouse, the internet, television media, our bodies, if we let those things control our responsiveness, then we become victims of them. Because anytime those things change, we get moved around like being like a lure on the end of a fishing line. Interesting analogy, but this is what comes through. We don't have free volition. We're like Pinocchio on the strings of the puppet. I'm reaching for analogies that aren't lining up, so I'll try and find another one in a moment. And it is like being a puppet. When you have assigned control of your emotions to an outside external thing, be it a spouse, parent, or something amorphous such as the government or the weather or traffic, then those things have your strings to your puppet. They become the puppet master for you. And you have no control, except that you're lying to yourself. And this is the piece I want to make sure you get today. It really is something I had to learn as well, and I keep learning it, because sometimes I go, oh, I slipped again. And that happens. And I'm deciding this thing over here that I've been putting on the side, I might bring a little bit into now. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time, this might open up a different conversation than I planned, so please bear with me. This is going to be, I know this is going to be an event, a weekend workshop I'll be teaching, because the stuff I've learned over the years, I've integrated into my own learning, and I want to bring it to a bigger audience than I can do through this sometimes, although there could be 1,000 people watching the replay. If there are 1,000 people watching the replay, awesome, because it will save me doing a live event. The choice we have, the choice everybody has, is to be aware of our responsiveness, how we respond, how we react to things outside of ourselves. And it may not be what you do as much as how you feel. This is the key. You get to choose how you feel moment to moment. Absolutely. And when you let something out there control how you feel in here, you're no longer in control, obviously. You put control out there, which makes you a victim, a puppet of those things out there. Is this making sense? I hope it is. And it means that, the traffic on the way to work put you in a bad mood all day, so you cuss out somebody at work. This isn't something, it's logical, but not sane. And I'm speaking to this now because as we get close to, because being in the States, we're getting close to Thanksgiving tomorrow. And people are giving thanks. And then I see posts this morning about Black Friday, which is 2 days from now. And the insanity, yes, the insanity of people going to stores to elbow, battle, bruise each other, sometimes injure each other to get the best bargain. I'm not going to get a rant on that necessarily, but I want to illustrate the point here. And I made a post about this, which is why I'm tying into this other thing I've talked about, how with the invention of the internet and online shopping, most online shopping deals are better than any Black Friday sale anywhere because the overhead's lower. I mean, this is just a logical thing. So, and I don't want to get into a whole structural thing about sales and retail stuff, but I want to speak to the point. So Black Friday really is irrelevant nowadays because you can get what you want, bargain shopping online by searching on Google, whatever, and you get what you want. So why do you want to go to why do people go to black sales? Tradition? I don't think so. Oh, 20 views on the web. Oh, good to know that. Yeah, I figure there's people watching. A lot of people watch on the web, I know, and I do share the link to that in my profile and stuff occasionally. So that's nice to see people out there. Hi, web viewers. I know you can't comment, unfortunately. By the way, if you do want to interact future times, live on the scope, please make sure you download the app to your smartphone or your iPad. I don't think it might work on the Android tablet too. I'm not sure. But if you do that, then you can type in the comments and tap on the screen for hearts as well. So that's what I say for the web viewers who are watching. If you'd like to step up your interaction level, which I'd love to have you do that. It's a free download. You can come and play. Anyway, back to Black Friday. This ties into what happened with that woman on Monday. No problem. I'm actually doing like 4 at once, which is pretty impressive for me. Usually do 1 at a time, as in topic. So Black Friday. There's a cultural shift I'm praying for, and this is the piece I want to talk about. Okay, let me come out full and say this thing because I've been like sitting on it and pretending not to talk about it. In this country, particularly, because I lived here for the last 30 years, and it's probably true in a lot of places in Europe and other places too, there is a certain mass mindset that happens. And jokingly, I call it, as my friends have called it, and I call it too, sheeple, which is sheep and people put together. Because sheep tend to work in a herd or a flock. A flock, that's the right translation. And versus individually. And a mob, as in riots, as in marches, tends to have no individual consciousness within it. It becomes a mass movement. And the Black Friday is the same thing. People, when they get into that environment, become frenzied because of the environment. If any one of those people were outside of that, most of them, they'd have free will. They were sitting there going, why would I do that? But in the heat of the moment, in the passion and in the excitement or insanity of the event, they do things they never otherwise do. So again, as I spoke to earlier, they've become a victim or been a puppet of something external to them. So I want to put this point home for you today because I did cover this briefly in the scope yesterday, but this is a deeper point because I see how powerful it is. That we, all of us, including this one here, me, have an opportunity every day in all our interactions to make the choice, how do I want to respond? And okay, I'm going to do this one too. I'm having so much stuff drop down, I'm just putting it into the scope because I want to save this information and make probably some blog posts on this, or if not, make this a blog post. We as individuals, and I'm going to speak to this for myself because this is my truth and my belief, we're all individual beings who have free will, but we're not just human. As I've learnt, and I'm still discovering this, so I'm not saying I'm an expert in this part, we are spiritual beings having human experience. As someone else wrote once, our bodies are made up of all the different basic elements from the stars, so we are actually made from stardust, which is pretty impressive if we're all doing that. So then we have that much power, that much freedom, that much inspiration within us. We can make our choice every day about how we respond. Whether or not you're in a circumstance you can change, because this is, again, one of the subtleties. In particular, Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning, he was a doctor who was interned during the war in the concentration camps in Germany. And he survived. But he said that the greatest thing he realized for us as individuals is that we have the power of choice, independent of a circumstance. Now, he was in one extreme circumstances out there, and I can't relate to that personally, but I understand the point, and I hope you do too. He said that in the concentration camps, there were 2 types of people. People who'd given up on life, who basically were shuffling into their death in the environment because of what was being set up. But there were those people like himself who had an attitude of, we'll get through this. An attitude of, I can survive. The attitude of, I choose life versus death, as in for themselves. Now, this is a big, broad, paintbrush of explaining this point, but I want to get it home to you because in every area of your life, whether it's dealing with a hangnail, I mean, very small idea, or the fact that somebody keyed your car, or your internet's down, or it isn't as sunny as you'd like it to be. Whatever those things are that you're using as reasons to feel upset, stop it. You have more power than that. And I guess this is the bottom line I want to bring to your attention now, because I've got some other things I want to bring in, because I just had those downloads I'm going to speak to later on. This is going to be part 3 or 4 tomorrow and Friday. We'll see. An ever-opening rows of conversation. What I want to speak to is that you have choice. Sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once here. Let me do that again. There we go. Okay. So you have choice. Whether it is simply your attitude, your own, whether it's your own, I see people start enjoying, and this is cool. Nice to have you here. Thank you, Tony. I've covered a piece of puzzle, so this is going to come back. It's going to come up soon. So, rewind, put in place. Yes. So I want to say this again. You have choice in your attitude about anything that happens in your life. I have seen people who have come back from amazing, challenging, heartbreaking events, from traumas, personal traumas, to nationwide traumas, to injuries, to illnesses, to losing somebody, to being a victim of something else physically. But it's not about that. It's about inner state, inner responsiveness, inner ability to function. And this is my work more and more with my clients, because in my coaching with my clients, for those who just joined me, I am a relationship teacher, guide, expert, author, speaker, and my clients, mostly women, quite a few of them, I work with them is to help them realign their inner choices about their past history. And by doing that, their future choices of relationship change. And there are people out there I know, and I was watching somebody's blab last night, who they're a matchmaker, and their focus is like getting A and B to meet. But I'm thinking about not A and B, but all of A's baggage and B's baggage meets too. That's a lot of clunk and junk to work through. Clunk, I don't know what that was. So in my coaching with clients, it's about helping them see things through a different lens so they can make a different choice. And this is for you as a free advice. So take it. If you are someone who wants to change your dating direction, your relationship experience, your romance options, look at your past and see what your choices weren't the healthiest ones you can make. Either physical choices or emotional or mental choices. What did you believe? What did you say? What did you feel about what happened before? If you can change those, you can change your future. Now, that's easier said than done, I understand. That's why I have clients work with me for 3 months. I am passionate about supporting my clients, transforming their experience to what their future is. I've been through it myself, but it wasn't 3 months. I've been studying stuff for many years, and it took me several years to clear out my own history, to make clearer choices going forward. And I still see hints of it, because the thing about this is it doesn't all go like wiped clean, but it gets easier to manage. And the choice changes because you get control of your choices. So stop being the puppet of all the other things out there that are deciding your choices for you. Your actions, your reactions, your feelings, your upsets. Take charge of your own choices. And you can do this. And you can start with one thing a day. Start by writing out your intentions for the day. Start by writing out gratitude at the end of the day. Start by writing things down that inspire and affirm you. Look for messages. Find inspirational quotes. Go buy pictures, put them on the wall. Do things that raise your vibration and your choices so that your mindset shifts. That's what I guess I'm going to come to. So it's a choice point all the way through. And hey, George, good to have you here, sir. This topic is unraveling as I'm speaking, in terms of there's more coming out. And this is part 2 from yesterday about good and bad. But I want to speak to this really quickly again. You have control of your choice. You have the ability to, metaphorically, cut the puppet strings that you've actually put out there. Because it wasn't the puppeteer taking control of you. You gave them the strings. Again, whether it's the government or taxes or the weather or the media, you've given that choice to somebody else if you let them, their actions, their communications disturb your peace, upset you. So to bring it back home again, to be clear about this, look at your daily life. Look at yesterday, for example, and look at the things that happened yesterday that are highlights, good or bad, that triggered you and you had a reaction to, and decide if that's something you want to happen again. By making the choice saying, no, I don't want that to happen, look at how you can take your choice back, because you can. Because those things may happen again, but your reaction to them doesn't have to. And that's really the bottom line of this scope, is you have choice about how you respond versus react. Because response is something where you consider and then choose back, versus where something happens and immediately you're reacting. Because for some of us, we've had deep-seated patterns that still run the show. And it's time to say no. If it's not serving you, it doesn't deserve to be with you. So you get to make the choice. And that's why I'm going to sign off on this one, is because there's more to come. And I dipped into a little piece today, which I'm not going to touch till tomorrow or Friday, because that's a much bigger conversation about mass movement and people type thing. But in terms of individual choice, which you have, you can do that now. You can literally make a different choice every single moment. And when you make a choice for you, but how do you react, respond, or don't do any of that, it gives you your power back. Now, some situations I understand are hard to do so. You know, if your boss at work, if you're working, gives you something to do that you don't want to do, you may still have to do it. But you can choose your attitude, but how you do it. So even that much you have finesse in. As I mentioned Viktor Frankl earlier, if you can find the book A Man's Search for Meaning, that will absolutely, well, put it this way, I hope none of us have dealt with anything that traumatic or challenging before, or ever will. But his book will teach you a powerful lesson about freedom of choice. To choose to take your attitude back, because again, it's your own attitude you have control over. The weather, you can't control the weather, or the government, or the media necessarily, but you can choose how you respond to it. And that's where the power lies. So that's your homework for today, and for life. Make your choices for you. Make your own presence more important than what's out there. Yeah, that'll do. Your choice is yours, not somebody else's. Take it back. All right? If you want to find out more about me, you can find out me on my website. You're welcome. barryselby.com is my site, and all my social media is Barry Selby. So if you look at my handle in Periscope, that's where you find me. My book is on my website. Yeah, quick plug. This is my book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. Yes, I do write stuff once in a while. And if you want to find out more about my work, go to barryselby.com. I have a new online program available and a few other things available too. Shaq, I haven't seen you for a while. Welcome back to the Scope. God, it's been a month or so since I've seen you on my Scope. So what's up? Yeah, good to see you too. So I'm actually ending the Scope. Sorry, you just timed it so it'll be right at the back end. Go back and watch the. If you go back and try that one again. If you want to go back and watch the replay, it's up and running. And this is part 2. Yesterday's actually, I watched yesterday's first because that opened this conversation up, and this is taking it to another level. And there's going to be more coming. This is an ongoing conversation basically about how your choice controls your ability to feel, feeling good or feeling bad. So where I ended up in this scope is not where I started. You like the new update to Periscope? I'm not sure which update you're talking about, so you can let me know that. But yeah, so this one bottom line is very simple. Simple, not easy. It's about you have choice. Yeah. I've been using the update for a while, so I'm not sure if there's a recent one since then. I haven't checked today because they keep dropping Periscope updates out of the blue sometimes. But I do like the new features, the ability to fast forward and rewind through scopes. You can go back and watch and scan through, which is good once I finish the scope. Anyway, I've got to go. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I was supposed to be on a conference call 5 minutes ago. Oops. But my choice is I don't get upset about that. I'm just going to join in anyway. I'm good to go. So, happy Thanksgiving to you, sir. Enjoy yourself. And everybody out there who is in America, have a great Thanksgiving. The rest of the world, enjoy your Thursday tomorrow. That's it. So please watch the replay. This one is another piece of the puzzle. And again, I'm realizing that the scope decided yesterday this is part 2 of the same scope, and then there's going to be part 3 coming up because this conversation is not done yet. This isn't a teaching standalone, but there's value in this, and yes, you can take things out of this scope for your own life. And there's more coming. I already saw that, which I put down over there because I didn't want to deal with it right now. It didn't seem relevant to this conversation, but it's going to come up, I know. And this may get, how to say this? I won't say political, but it's going to disturb some people's peace. Hopefully not yours. But I hope you'll enjoy the conversation. So stay tuned. Make sure you're following me. If you haven't already done so, little guy in the corner, you can tap on him and follow me, so you'll be notified when I go on Scope next. And if you're watching on the web or the replay and you haven't got the app yourself, Please go get the app yourself on your smartphone or Android. That way you can interact with me on my Periscope, so you can type in comments and tap the screen for hearts and share it with your followers, because when you're watching the replay, actually the replay you can share it with your followers, but if you're watching online you can't do any of that stuff, unfortunately. So if you have a smartphone, I highly recommend doing the app, even if you just want to watch. I know it's only about 1% of Periscope users are broadcasting, so you'll be in the majority if you don't broadcast. But get the app anyway, because then at least you can type in comments and ask questions and be interactive, because that's what makes scoping so much fun. So that's it. So thank you for watching again. Take choice. Cut the strings, as I mentioned before, of the puppet master you give the power to. You have the power. You are that powerful. And that's going to be another scope. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Oh, yeah, rewind. All of my scopes are archived. I've got a cheat sheet here somewhere. There it goes. Catch.me is where everything's stored. /barryselby is my account. If you're using Periscope, make sure you get a Catch.me account, because that's a free place to store your archives. Because Periscope broadcasts go away after 24 hours. This is where they live forever. So go there, watch my scopes, tons of content. And if you want to find out more about me, reach out and talk. All right? So go to barryselby.com. There's a link in my bio for a consult. If you want to talk about what's going on for you, I can help you. And that's all for today. I'll see you later. But I will be back on, I'll be back on again at 1 p.m. Pacific time, leading off a share-a-thon today about positivity, about the world needing positivity. That's going to be a fun scope. But that'll be much shorter. It'll be like 10 minutes. So come back and follow me. I'll be back soon, and have a great day.